My name is Videk Fink. Our family has a long tradition in this area. The Finks have lived here since time immemorial, and I dare to say, they manage their local forests, meadows and fields reasonably. People like them and our family always knew how to reward and help anybody who asked for help and really needed it. The First World War bypassed us luckily, but then the Second World War was coming. Overnight the territory where we lived and worked came under the control of the occupiers, and given our evidently German ancestors, the envy and resentment of some people hidden until recently, slowly began to show. Everything became even worse with the end of the war and the establishment of the new regime in 1948. All the property of our family was nationalized and included in local collective farms. We almost lost the roof over our heads. Our mother could not bear this difficult situation. Our father became an avowed opponent of everything socialist or communist. And he was not alone. In our region there were still many people remembering better times. Times of freedom and prosperity. Thanks to our pre-war contacts, we were able to remain in touch with friends from the West until the fatal summer of 1968. In the following years, our father repeatedly blamed himself for his indecision whether to emigrate to the West, or still stay here hoping for big changes that took place anyway, though opposite of what our father expected. And then he couldn't stand it anymore. He tried to flee west on a homemade hang glider. But someone had betrayed him, and so he was brutally beaten at the scene by the state policeman, and then he was dragged away to an unknown place. So only the two of us stayed here. And me, Videk Fink, and my half-brother Tanda Androl. Can you imagine our determination to avenge our mother? Father? However, our friends persuaded us, and we had to promise them that we will not do anything stupid, and rather wait for the mills of God. Even so, like our father, we still could not accept the way of life in the then Czechoslovakia, even after they allowed us with half-closed eyes to sell some timber to the owners of the local cottages in the neighborhood or some venison to the local pubs. Anyway, all of them were some communist officials or state police agents who were supposed to keep an eye on us. Recently, we discovered some interesting artifacts left by our father. They were contacts to a sleeping resistance cell in the West. This resistance apparently cooperated with our father, because we managed to contact an agent of the cell, and he began to communicate gladly with us. Using a homemade radio, we were able to make radio contacts with other cells of this organization, and 2 weeks ago we received a packet from the West full of equipment. It came flying under a small balloon. Man, it was quite a stir and fuss at the border. The border guard completely failed. That is why we now have the CSLA army on the border instead of regular border guards. All of them were looking for intruders or agents of the West, but they couldn't find anything. Meanwhile, our contraband has been carefully hidden, and now we have nice curtains on the windows made from the canvas of the balloon. Now we share our opinion with the resistance group in the West. The regime in the CSSR must be changed, and we can help with our great cause. With the help of this resistance organization, a plan was drawn up how to occupy and liberate the salient from the state border up to the river near Nove Chalupi in the east and up to the ruins of Rothstein Castle in the north. If we succeed in this action with a substantial support from the West, everybody around the world will hear about our dissatisfaction with the regime, and the changes will come. According to the confidential information, the Soviet government under the leadership of Mikhail Gorbachev does not want to interfere in domestic affairs in Czechoslovakia, which gives us real chances for the success of our cause. Now we are fine-tuning the last details of the operation to free our country, which will force the rigid hyenas in the leadership of the state to negotiate on the regime change. We don't see any other possible solution.